How do I clean my brushes? I just had a couple of my girlies ask me how to clean makeup brushes. So I'm going to show you how I personally run through my little routine of keeping them clean. You should clean them every week. I know that most people at home don't clean every week, or maybe every month, or maybe even every 6 months. But you should try and keep them as clean as you can. Just run a little bit of the 11.5 out. You actually don't need a lot. And what I've actually done to rinse the brushes is collected a nice big container full of the beauty water, which is a pH of between 4 and 6.5. So what the 11.5 does is it breaks up all of the oils and the dirt and the grime. It's a really good degreaser. So when the products stick into your brushes, it helps to break that down very quickly, so much quicker than normal water would. The way you wash a natural bristle brush, now a natural bristle brush is something that is really soft. You generally would apply dry products with it, so loose powder bases, bronzers, blush, anything that's dry and powder, and it feels nice and soft as well. Usually they're natural bristles, so real hair. The way that you would wash those ones, you take your 11.5, which is the water that we just decanted, your strong alkaline water. You want to dip the bristles of the brush into that water, and then you take any shampoo and conditioner that you've got at home. You can even go and buy a real cheap shampoo and conditioner at the shops, at the supermarket. But basically you take your brush, you take a little bit of the shampoo, you don't need a lot, just a tiny little bit in the palm of your hand, and then you start emulsifying it. Do that for a moment, and then you rinse it out in that water. Just a little, take a bit more of the shampoo, lather it up, and give it a rinse. What you want to try and remember when you're washing your brushes is to always keep them pointing down. Even when it comes to the drying process, you'd rather have them pointing down than drying like this, because what happens is the water is going to run down into the metal base and it corrodes the wood, the metal and the glue. So a little trick that I used to use back in some of the day spas that I've worked in previously is get blue tack, lumps of blue tack, and you actually put the blue tack onto a tile at the back of the kitchen draining board, and then you just stick them all so they face down. So that's a really good way to dry them. Otherwise, you can, once you've wrung them out, lay them, actually I can't see that. The other thing that you can do is lay them on a towel, lay them flat, but don't sit them upright like that, because you won't get as long out of your brushes. And if you've got good quality brushes, they're expensive. So you want to look after them as best you can. Now, once you've done your shampoo, you then go in with your conditioner. Now your conditioner, you only need a tiny little bit. You can actually leave it in your brush. If you've got a hair treatment, most people think I'm nuts, but I actually put hair treatments in my natural bristle brushes because it's going to keep the brush looking and feeling amazing for a lot longer. You're caring for your tools, your equipment, you know. Leave it sitting in. Once you've set it in for a little while, you then take your beauty water. So this is your final rinse now, your beauty water. So conditioner in, same way. You rinse it out, wring it out, and then once it's fully rinsed and you feel like all the water's gone, what you want to do is just take the brush between your thumb and your finger there and just gently squeeze out all of the excess water, and then you lay it on the towel, or you can squish it on a bit of blue tack on the draining board like that so it dries nicely. But that's how you generally wash a natural bristle brush. Now when it comes to washing a synthetic fibre brush, synthetic fibre brushes are the ones that you apply wet product with. So things like your concealers, your foundations, lipsticks, cream to powder eyeshadows, liquid eyeliners, all of those sorts of brushes have a little bit more of a sort of like a plasticky feel to them, if you will. Now those ones there you just wash out with either a bar of soap or a little bit of shampoo, and then don't need to condition those. You squeeze out all of the excess and then you dry it on a towel. So that's easy as it comes. Those ones are super simple. Little pump of hand soap or shampoo, backwards and forwards on the palm of the hand. If you wanted to know how to wash your brushes, that's how I do it. So I will look forward to chatting to you all next week on Wednesday.